In today's episode, we're dealing with a master shape, the stiletto nail. It's definitely not an everyday wear shape, but who knows, maybe someday you'll decide to create some show nails or perhaps take part in a championship.
Hi, I'm Connie, and this is a channel dedicated to the art of nail styling. Today's episode is dedicated to the very special stiletto nails.
We'll prep the nail plate by wiping the surface with purple cleaner, apply an acid primer, and create the base and frame with Primo Ultimo. We'll build the nails using Easy Shape Cover and Light Rose and Perfect Clear. For decorating, we'll use gel polishes, Pudelek, Blonde Hair Don't Care, and Hocus Pocus from the Glass collection. We'll cover it all in Tip Top and Super Matte top coats. We will also use effects Snowflakes 4 and Pixel Effect in Cinderella. With master shapes, we always cut the free edge as far as we can, because we want the nail to be as thin as possible. Even a millimeter of an uncut free edge could cause filing through the nail while shaping it.
Notice that in the case of salon nails, we do the opposite. We do not cut the free edge to the maximum, which makes it easier to apply the form. It's also much more pleasant for our client. Placing a form under a free edge cut down to a 0 is not really very pleasant, and you have to be very careful with every move so as not to hurt your client.
Shorten the free edge with a file of gradation 180. Mat the surface, making sure not to fall through the nail. Using a dust-free cotton pad soaked in purple cleaner, wipe the surface from the bottom towards the cuticles. We left a bit of gel mass from our previous styling so as not to damage the structure of the nail. The model previously wore nails done by our stylist, who knows exactly what product she applied and how much time it was on for.
The model has previously worn nails done by our stylist, who knows exactly what product she applied and how much time it was on for. Therefore, there is no risk that leaving a thin layer on will affect the durability of the nails. And it will certainly be useful to a nail that might be slightly weakened by exercises in preparation for the championships.
We pick up the acid primer, drain it, and apply it by dotting. Once it evaporates, we have 2 minutes to rub the base in, otherwise the acid primer will stop working. We apply the base, not too much. If we do pick up too much of the product, wipe the brush off on a dust-free cotton pad. We put the nail into the lamp for 60 seconds and cure. Now it's time to place the form. Roll it gently in your fingers, place it under the free edge, evenly stick down the end of the form, moving from the bottom up. The stiletto form is entirely closed, just as with almonds. The model's fingertips slightly push the form out around the free edge, so we make cuts at an angle of 45 degrees from the side edges so that it fits perfectly around the free edge. Press the form firmly together from underneath. There must be no kinks or dents on it, as those same dents will then appear on the edge of the underside of the nails. When looking at the finger from the side, the end of the form should be neither higher nor lower than the side edges. It needs to be at the same height. Time to build the frame. Our nail tech uses a gelastic base Primo Ultimo. It's thin, can be applied quickly, and doesn't add volume. Perfect for the championships. We spread the product over the entire length of the stiletto, up till the very end of the form. Using a thin decorating brush, we check whether we have applied the product everywhere. We pick up a bit more of the gel and apply it on the joint between the nail plate and the form to strengthen this area. Cure in the lamp for 60 seconds. We wipe the surface of the free edge with a dust-free cotton pad soaked in purple cleaner. Why? Because we're going to be building up a wall and we don't want it to run over the sticky layer. Using gel brush number 4, we apply a thin layer of Easy Shape Cover, starting from the cuticles and dragging the brush towards the free edge. We pick up a bead of gel, apply it on the joint of the nail with the form, and shape it into a smile line. We move the brush from right to left using the tip. Cure for 60 seconds in the lamp. Pick up a bead of light rose and apply it to the center of the natural nail, and in a pulsating motion, move the product towards the cuticles, without touching them, of course. We move to the smile line, forming the wall of the egg. Use the tip of the brush to correct the wall to obtain a uniform shape. With the tip of the brush, smooth the surface of the gel with a threading movement. The more work we do now, the less we'll have to do when filing. We cure in the lamp for 60 seconds. We move to the free edge. With the dust-free cotton pad soaked in purple cleaner, we wipe the dispersion layer. And with the 180 gradation file, we file the cover line at an angle of 90 degrees, giving it the shape of a smile. Next, file the surface of the egg, using hard movements. We do not file the cuticle area. We'll leave this bit to the very end. Using a very thin, slim file, we then refine the smile shape. Again, we hold the file at an angle of 90 degrees and we smooth the already filed wall. The file is thinner and harder, which will help us in achieving a more expressive smile line. Wipe off the surface with a dust-free cotton pad soaked in Wipe Off, paying special attention to make sure the entire wall is clean. We place a drop of the Pudelek shade, 2 drops of Blonde Hair Don't Care, and a drop of Hocus Pocus. We mix both pinks to create a middle shade. We start with the darkest pink. Place it against the wall and drag it to 1/3 of the length of the free edge. We clean the brush using the Nail Art 004 brush and reach for the next color, which we apply in the middle of the free edge. Clean off the brush and pick up our third, lightest color and apply it on the free edge. Clean the brush and blend the transitions between the colors. Of course, before we touch the lighter transitions, we make sure to clean our brush. We do not put the hand into the lamp yet. We place Snowflakes 04 over the wet layer along the entire length of the free edge, but keeping to the center. We fill in the edges with Pixel Effect Cinderella. Don't be stingy, we apply a lot of the particles. We place our hand in the lamp for 30 seconds. To warm up the color around the smile line, we add orange from the Glass collection. We pat the product in using our finger so that it merges with the previous layer and cure in the lamp for 30 seconds. Time to cover the free edge. For this, we'll use our Perfect Clear, which spreads easily, does not create bubbles, and is perfectly translucent. Pick up a bead of it and apply it at the smile line, pushing it under along the line on both sides and then drag it out to the end of the free edge. We pick up more product, we add it to where it's missing, for example at the edge to even out the surface. Take one more bead and apply it between the egg and the free edge to strengthen the structure and build the nail shape correctly. Before putting the hand into the lamp, turn the hand over to level out the gel. Cure it for 30 seconds. Wipe the entire nail with a dust-free cotton pad soaked in Wipe Off and remove the form. We move on to filing. We start by shaping the top view. We hold up a file with a gradation of 100 at an angle of 45 degrees and shape the nail on both sides with the file slightly angled. Note, when filing, we control the pressure we're applying using our ring finger. This helps prevent any discomfort and we don't risk breaking the nail. Next, we file the surface using a gradation of 180, holding the file at an angle of 45 degrees from the free edge to the apex. After filing the side walls, we gently blend them with the apex, but be careful not to flatten it. Now for the edges. Hold the 180 file straight from underneath, holding the tip of the nail against the file surface using your ring finger. In this way, we avoid any tensions and any risk of nail breakage. The tip is already very thin, so we need to be careful with it. We continue to file the product around the cuticles, also using the 180 gradation. We thin it, shaping the apex even more. With such long nails, the apex may be slightly shifted, that is, on the stress line, to strengthen the nail structure. The last element is shaping the C-curve. We move the file from right to left over the entire surface of the nail, joining the sides with the apex in an equal semicircle. Finally, file the edges with a laser file to sharpen them, all the while holding the tip of the stiletto with your finger. Here are our edges. They are even and sharp, and that's exactly what a stiletto should look like. The tip should also be very sharp. The stiletto tunnel should be 45 degrees. We wipe the entire nail using Wipe Off Cleaner. Apply a top coat of Tip Top to the nail egg, first with the brush from the bottle, then using the 004 brush we paint up to the cuticles and smooth out the French line. Turn the hand over to let Tip Top level out and put in the lamp for 30 seconds. We apply Super Matte to the free edge and using a thin brush, arrange the product in a smile line. Cure for 30 seconds. Notice that we didn't cover the entire nail with Tip Top and then Super Matte, as we want it to be as thin as possible. We place a drop of Blonde Hair Don't Care and Pudelek on our glass palette, and the third drop is the previously used Super Matte. We start with the lightest color. This time we don't have to clean the brush, as we'll be applying a darker pink and then blending it. Apply snowflakes to wet, uncured colors, again using brush 004, and in between the snowflakes, Pixel Effect Cinderella. Cure in the lamp for 30 seconds. We remove the dispersion from the decoration using a dust-free cotton pad soaked in Wipe Off Cleaner. And this is our final result, a stiletto sharp as a needle. What do you think about this shape? Unfortunately, only the nail we made a moment ago is a sharp stiletto.
Because our stylist did them the day before, and our model during a trip to a watch, dinner, shower, sleep, used this hand, which of course is quite normal, the thin tips did not make it till this episode. But now let's imagine that happens during a championships. What do we do then? Well, we have two options. If the nail has chipped right in front of your eyes, but you have this broken piece in your hands and it'll fit the nail like Tetris, then you can easily glue it on the tips. If, on the other hand, it's a competition of decorated stilettos where we have an hour and a half and decorations are created on a previously built shape, and let's assume that our model has chipped 3 out of 5 nails, then it is best to file them all, because the chances of finding all the broken pieces, let alone they'll all fit, are very low. So let's get to it. Even if only one tip breaks, we still match the others without regret, so that all 5 nails are the same. Some TNCs require a needle, others may be rounded, but all require 5 identical shapes.
We pick up a file with gradation 180. With our hand that's holding the hand, we gently press the stiletto against the file along its entire length, and in a straight motion, but approaching the free edge, gently guide the file upwards. Thus, we lose points for missing a needle on the tip, but at least we have an unbroken stiletto. So the judges will not have to deduct points for unfinished work or for, in this case, a bad first impression.
That's today's episode wrapped. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments below. See you soon.